We're continuing our scrap series today, and I'm going to make 2 autumn birthday cards. Come on in.
Hi everybody, it's Julia Laird with Senior Susie Stamps, and today is Thursday. We're continuing our scrap series for fall, and I got into my fall paper this week, and I have it stored in one of these drawers. It's a Sterilite drawer stack, and I thought I had it all sorted out, but when I found it, it was a big mishmash mess. So I spent some time sorting, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. But I got some of my little scrap packs and ended up using 12 of them. I thought I might just need 3 or 4, but that didn't work. So we're going to make a couple of cards today using a fall theme, autumn, and they're birthday cards because I needed a couple of birthday cards for some friends. So let's get started. Today I've been sorting paper. I got into my fall paper supplies and found a big mess. I had just wadded it up in a drawer, and I guess I must have started my scrap extravaganza. Look at this. She's got my little microphone wire. Sorry about that. Come on, Cordelia, help me out here. So I took about 45 minutes this morning to sort all of the stuff in that drawer out into scrap packs, and that's what we're going to work off today. So let me go over to the desk. So this is the first card for today, using up some scraps. I have a couple of stamps here. I don't know where this came from, but it is printworkscollection.com. Each of us will be a blessing to the other. Isn't that a nice stamp? And then a happy birthday sentiment. I need a couple of fall happy birthday cards. I have a piece of designer paper here and one to go on the inside of this card blank. And then I have some little things. I found these in the fall paper stash when I was going through it earlier today, and then I went ahead and found some more of that scrap and punched some of these little leaves out for the inside. And I've got a little piece here. I don't know whether we use it or not, but let's get started. I don't really like the shape of this on the front. I want to do kind of a little clean, simple card that is able to handle this sentiment on the front and then stack those leaves up on it. But I think I'm going to measure this, and it's 3.5 inches square. So now in looking at my 3.5 inch layer, it can either be 3.5 by 2 1/4 or 3.5 by 4 3/4. Well, I don't have enough for that one, so I'm going to do this one down here at 2 1/4, and we'll cut that and get it started and see how it goes. 2 1/4. Put that back in my scrap pile. There, now I like the proportions of that a little better, but I'm not sure it will hold that stamp, so I may have to put a stamp sentiment on that. Let's just see how this is going to work. These leaves are punched out of some paper that has leaves on it. Let me show you an example. This is all of that paper that I have left, and I've just taken my little leaf punch and just gone right in there and punched some leaves out. And I thought it would make a nice fall birthday card for a friend of mine. Something like that. We'll see if we can get this put together. Now I believe I'm going to use rich cocoa ink. There, now maybe that's a little better. It's kind of a dreary day here today, and so I don't have the natural sunlight that normally I would have. There we go. And then this can kind of sit down there like that. I think it needs a little brown edge around the outside of it. I like that better. Okay, let's glue these up. This, unfortunately, is not heavy paper at all. And so I don't know that it'll go through the mailing process very well. But we will have to hope for the best on that. Get as much of the leaf onto the structure of the card itself, especially these little stems there, because they're the most fragile part of it. All right, and then I think I'm going to just put a little ink around the outside edge of this to kind of give it a little more definition. So it's almost like a little faux layer, if you will. There. Yeah, that looks a little better. That white's pretty stark, but you know, for a clean and simple card, sometimes you want a little stark in it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There's that, and I think I'll put a little strip of foam on the outside of this one. And then place it with my tweezers. Trying to get it straight to you. Oh, there we are. Not like that. And then this one can come kind of down like that, I think. There we go, and we're going to break the line a little bit here onto that sentiment and over in here. So that gives us just a little bit of additional interest on that. I do think I'll put a little piece of foam up underneath this leaf right here. Pull it off and kind of slip it up in there with my little tweezers here. That gives just a little structure to that. There we go. I like that. Now, let me see if I've got some little brownish gems of some sort. Let's see what's over here in this stack. I'm looking at these. Let's see what they look like. Oh yeah, there we go. Very nice. Let's get some from here. Now this is some Nuvo drops that I've made my own enamel dots out of. And I'm going to redo that video because I have found that the way you store these makes a big difference in how you're able to use them. So I think something like that would be just fine. Okay, here we go. Now, let me get my little picker guy. Now let's look at the inside of this card. And I think I'm going to cut a little piece of this again. And just maybe a little 1/2 inch piece, I think. And then perhaps a 3/4 on this. And make a little treatment for the inside of the card. I always kind of like to do a little something on the inside. I don't always, but I really do kind of like to do that. I think it helps pull your card together just a little bit. Now, this is textured paper, and I find that glue works a little better on this linen paper than the ATG does. The ATG doesn't have quite enough surface contact always. Sometimes it does. I should have gone ahead and stamped this while I had it down so that if I screwed it up, I could start again, but I didn't, did I? Alright. So this is going to go in here like this. And this piece is 3/4 by 3 3/4, excuse me, by 5. I've got a happy birthday sentiment that I'm going to put on it. Right up here. There we are. And I made some of those little leaves to go on the inside here that I thought would be pretty to kind of help finish that out a little bit. So let's get those glued down. Some of the last cards that my mother made with me were fall cards. So it has kind of a special time meaning to me. I remember her using a little finger dauber and putting some color on some leaves that we were doing. That's enjoyable to think about to me. Okay, this card's done, and I have a person that needs it, so I am tickled. We'll get on to the second card in just a sec. Hey, I wanted to break in for just a second and say thank you to all of my subscribers for coming and joining me. We have over 1,100 subscribers on the channel, and I'm just thrilled. I can't say. You know, when I started the channel, I didn't really think it would get this big, and I appreciate your vote of confidence in my ability to make cards. So keep coming back, and we'll share our crafting experience together. Now, some of the cards that I make don't end up in video, and I post them over on the Facebook page, just so you know. Like some of these scraps that are left from today, I'll go ahead and finish up making them up because I don't want to put them back in that drawer, let me tell you. And so check over there once in a while. Okay, let's get back to the program. Now let's see if I can get it on there straight. Okay, this is the second birthday card that I wanted to make today, and I think we'll use this OWH sketch that we've used before. It's number 122, and it takes two pieces. One is 5 inches by 1/2 inch, and the other is 5 1/4 by 1/2 inch. And then it has this strip back behind and a sentiment strip here in the front. So let's see if we can work with that a little bit. I thought maybe we could take this piece and put some tape down the back of it and just make it a wider piece, because the seam is going to be covered up with one of these strips here. So I guess I could put that over there. This is supposed to be 2 1/4 by 4 1/4, and it really is only 1 3/4. But I think we'll cut it at 4 1/4 and just see. Looks like I'm going to cut both ends so that we can kind of square it up a little bit. 4 1/4. There we go. These are going in the bin. And then this one I want to cut at 5 and 5 1/4. And we'll see if we can get that card to pull together for us. 5 1/4. That leaves that little piece left, and we'll maybe put that on the inside. And I believe I'm going to use this for the card base and cut it at 4 by 5 1/4 and make that a first layer. Now that will go up onto let's put it on top folding card and see how it builds up. I'm thinking maybe want to put the swirly doos down here and put this in the middle as a layer, and then the shorter one goes right down the middle from the very top of the card. And then this one, I'm going to reverse it a little bit and put it down here like that. And then we'll get another sentiment. And I believe I'm going to use that same sentiment. So let's get that stamped and see how that's going to look on this card. This one will need to go up on foam. Okay, so that's all ready. Now, do we like it that way, or would we rather have it this way? I think I like it that way better. Okay, let's glue it up. See what we got. And this little trick of taping 2 pieces of paper together is a good thing to have in your repertoire, because invariably you need something that's just a little different size, and if you can hide that seam with something and have your paper work for you, then yay. That's the way I look at it. This is going to go kind of right in the middle of that card. Now then, the short one is going to come in the middle and extend down past that just a little bit. There. And then this one will come over here, and I don't think it'll be good enough on the edge, so let me put it down just a little bit over that piece there. Maybe leave two polka dots between them. There we go. There's that. And then this will come in. They've got it up at the top, but I kind of like it down here at the bottom a little bit. Now, let's just see if maybe, I wonder about making a leaf out of this, because you know it kind of goes with that flower a little bit. Let me see where my leaf punches are. Let's just see what we can get out of that. And I'll do 2 of them in case we need to. Now to give it a little fall feel. Okay, what do you think? I think this reddish color in those flowers pulls that leaf pattern really nicely together. Okay, let's go ahead and get these glued down. I'm going to extend it past the line here just a little bit, and then I'm going to come up and break it over here as well. There we are. And then this will go on down like this. How about that? Yeah, I'll come like that. Almost needs another little something. Don't know what though. Well, how about some gems? When in doubt, pull your gems. Well, let's just see about maybe some of these Nouveau drops, because they are really close to that color, and we could pop some of them right up on, like little starry raindrops, sort of. Yep, I kind of like that. Okay, here we go. The reason that I started doing my Nouveau drops this way is because little Miss Sticky Fingers here couldn't keep her fingers off of them long enough to dry. And so this is the way I do them from now on. It works really well for me in my studio. And I can finish a card up, and then I don't have to worry about it sitting it off someplace to dry. I just was never any good at that. Wait for me. I gotta dry. Are you dry yet? Are you dry yet? Are you dry yet? And then I ruin it. Okay, let's get something on the inside of this card. And I'm thinking about maybe the opposite side going this way. So let me trim that down to 5 by 3 3/4. I like to make my inside layers just a little bit smaller than the first layer, so 5 by 3 3/4 is actually a second layer, and I like to do them that way. I'm going to stamp my happy birthday directly on here so that it is part of the card kind of organically, if you will. And then I want to cut one more leaf, and it does not have to be the whole leaf, or maybe I'll just do some smaller ones. Let's do that. Let's do some smaller ones like we did the last time. Now when I cut that, I turned the paper over so that the tails on the leaves would opposite each other. Let's get this put down on the inside and get our leaves on. And I'm going to break the line again. It kind of just softens things if you'll break the line a little bit. There we go. Right like that. And that's a nice little treatment on the inside of that card that pulls the front in a little bit. Now, I want to see about, just because I can, trimming a couple of these little leaves and maybe putting them on the front of the card, because I think there's too much solid on that. Let's just look here and see what we think. Alright, I'm thinking kind of we'll just mirror the bigger leaves that way a little bit. And I think that helps to break this big red blob up. That looks better to me. Let me know what you think. I'm always interested in finding out what other people think about stuff. Sometimes I go back through cards that I've made pictures of and I think, oh, I like that card. And then I think, oh, I don't like that card. Why didn't she finish it? And I thought, well, that was your card, you goofer. Okay, that's done. Yay. So we ended up with 2 nice cards today. And when I was finishing up last night, I realized that I hadn't used these 2 little tiny pieces and I didn't want to put them back. I've got a stack over here still, but I wanted to go ahead and use them up. So I just made a little double flag and put on the side of this card, and I think it looks very nice. So here's the cards. And I hope you've enjoyed it today and that you'll come back and see me again soon. Y'all take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.